you again for making it to this place. Like Ashim says, in Bangalore, you measure distance by time and not by kilometers. So I know time-wise it's quite a commitment. But thank you very much, because this is an event that is really, very important for us. It's one of the largest events that we run, definitely the largest one in India. So really and truly wanted to thank all of you from the media for having made it here. We always talk about these 5 values by which we define ourselves. It's something that needs to be ticked for every product, for every process. And this is more so because today, in the age of AI, there is a lot of trust deficit. People are not sure that their data is not being misutilized, that it's not being used to train the LLMs. There are all kinds of questions on that. And that is something we want to be very, very clear about, that our trust layer is something that we have built with a lot of care and a lot of attention to ensure that your data remains your product. It's not ours, it's not anybody else's, it strictly remains yours. The rest of the values also are values that we live. It's not something that's just on a plate. So that's something I just wanted to mention. And having said that, we have realized that, it's very important for us to ensure that business truly is taken as a platform for change. And that while we are doing well, we also should be doing good, meaning we also should be contributing to the community. And therefore, we are very proud to be known as one of the most innovative, most philanthropic, and most ethical companies in the world. Regarding the numbers that we are doing, we delivered almost $37 billion of top-line revenue globally, and today we are planning at around 40.99 billion globally for this financial year, which ends in January of FY of 27. Having said that, what is it that this conference is all about? This conference is basically a conference for developers. And as you know, India has one of the largest pool of developers in the world today. One of the reasons why you have seen so many GCCs relocate to India is because of the depth of talent that is available over here. So this is a place where, the builders, the innovators, the problem solvers, we expect them to become what we call agent blazers. Now, what are agent blazers? Agent blazers are those people who are adept at working with agent force, creating agents who have a proper understanding of the AI agentic wave. We call it the third wave, and that's what this conference is all about, for empowering all of these developers into becoming agent blazers. We have over here more than 250 plus technical sessions, and people can pick and choose which ones they want to actually attend. There are a lot of hands-on sessions, by the way.
So, what you're experiencing here in this conference is a coming together of the Trailblazer community. And Trailblazers are essentially people who are associated with Salesforce. And we have this concept of going on a trail, discovering things, and able to chart new paths. And that's where the whole concept comes from. So that there's a concept called the Salesforce economy, and we also call it the Trailblazer economy, which basically says that the net effect of people and companies, etc., who are related to Salesforce is having an impact. Now, within India, between 2022 and 2028, a staggering 1.8 million new jobs have been created as a result of the influence Salesforce has in the multiple ways in the economy, right? Which also results in the creation of new revenues of 88.6 billion. So it's a huge impact, and we have, a large number of people who are part of this overall movement. Now, when I first joined, I was very, very surprised at the way the Trailblazer community works, because in most other companies, it's a very different environment. It's more of a user group kind of, collection that happens. But here the Trailblazers come together. It's truly a community. They work with Salesforce technologies. They help each other. They mentor each other. They actually host conferences on their own. They are called Dream-In conferences. and it's a very, very vibrant community. In fact, in every city that the Trailblazers are present, there are these local communities that have been established which allow people to come together and learn from each other. So very vibrant, 3.9 million Trailblazers in India. That's phenomenal. And as a company, we have grown significantly. We are today above 13,000 employees in India. And as Arundhati spoke about this morning as well, we are above $1 billion.
Start, I would encourage all of you to go try and create an agent in the campground. You don't need to be a technologist, you don't need to know Salesforce. It's super easy for you to try it. So please, when you have 5 minutes, 10 minutes, go try it out. With that, the way I wanted to talk about, I think we've gone through a lot of technological changes over the last 20, 30 years. Started off way back in the 90s with the internet, and then the cloud, social sort of wave, smartphone. But as each one of these things compounded, Salesforce has been there from the start, right? And because each one of these inflection points, if you may, creates a lot of new opportunities. Imagine what the cloud did. Imagine what the internet did. I think agents, right now, we are at the start of that immense opportunity, because this is the first thing which is going to help and augment human layer. It's not just about a different way of accessing the data or a different place to kind of store your servers. This is truly going to change it because it can reason, it can think, it can act. So it's going to be far, far more profound than every other revolution we've seen ahead of this. And speaking of which, customers are now expecting more than ever, right? All of us are consumers. We all want the businesses we work with to be open 24/7, to answer our questions and resolve our complaints immediately. Like we were talking about the refund case. How many of us hate it when the refund says it's going to take you 3 weeks, right? Because there's a lot of different back-end processes that have to go through in many systems, and they're all not connected. That's the problem. And so the companies are sort of struggling under this weight, right? Like basically there's fixed capacity. Just because there's more refund requests, it's not like you're going to go add more employees to it. It's just there's a suffering or there's lack of skill. And the big problem we're also seeing is disconnected data. Every company has tons and tons of different data lakes, data storage and everything. So nobody even knows. So how many times you've figured out, you call customer service, you give all the information, they'll hand it off to someone else and they'll again ask you all the same data, right? And so that's because it's disconnected. And the question we wanted to pose is, what if our workflows had no limits? What if it can be 24/7? What if it can be elastic and really do all the jobs and tasks that you want it to do? And that is really what we are talking about as the Agentforce platform. And why is this special? Because this is a unified and integrated platform. Every other sort of, when you hear agentic technologies, it's all silos. People kind of build something end to end, they don't talk to each other. Whereas what we have done is one integrated platform. You can integrate your APIs, you can integrate your apps, and then you can go through the entire customer lifecycle. Think about every business on earth. They need to do a few things. What do they need to do? You need to first advertise. You need to figure out who you want to target. You need to advertise. Then you need to send them mail, market to them, create the sort of the leads. And then after that, you probably will have a website that they visit, and you want to kind of sell them the products. And then you want to call them and have the sales goes through.
From a customer perspective, I think what you're seeing here is years of proven track record of helping our customers realize value from the investments that they made in technology. And what we're seeing today is there is a heightened level of conversation that we have with customers who want to invest, but more importantly, they also want to understand what is the value that they want to get from the investments that they make, right? And so this is just sample examples across a whole wide variety of what I would call classical customer engagement touch points, whether it be support, whether it be anything to do with revenue, marketing, and so on and so forth. You can see these are some of the kind of outcomes that our customers have seen on various platforms of Salesforce. One of the best things about the last 4 years is we've seen a massive drive for customers who are looking to transform their engagement experience with their customers. And it's happening across industries. Honestly, I've never seen a period where we've seen such broad-based demand. Even the most, I would say, conservative or vertical, take manufacturing for example, always considered a laggard. Construction and materials, like they've never ever invested in technology that's leading edge, if you will, right? They're typically between 5 and 7 years behind the curve. We have manufacturing organizations, construction, building materials organizations who are trying to transform themselves at a rapid pace. And of course, everybody who's in a direct-to-consumer, there it's an arms race, right? Because everybody's trying to outdo each other in terms of driving the best digital experience for their customers. So these are just an example of the kind of customers that we work with. You'll see this is the who's who, one of the most enviable list of brands. It's not the entire list, but just to give you an idea of cross-section of industries, of customers that today are running end-to-end engagement, customer engagement platforms on Salesforce. And the best example probably is Air India. We talk about a company that's truly trying to transform itself, right? Everything from the way they're transforming the equipment, moving to the latest. I don't know how many of you have flown the A350-900s, right? From being used to clunky old aircraft to flying a nice A350 with free Wi-Fi. It's a completely different experience, right? When they did the merger with Vistara and AirAsia, they basically consolidated all their service platforms into a single platform on Salesforce. And I was actually a consumer who was calling on November 12th, which was the D-Day of integration. And it so happened on that day morning, my wife called me and said, please change my ticket. I knew that the integration was happening the previous night. So I said, I'll do it tomorrow morning. But like every other boss at home said, no, you'll do it now. And I called and it went through smoothly, right? But I can tell you that the amount of effort that went in bringing those two platforms, bringing two different loyalty platforms together. And today, if you look at the leverage of AI on the Air India website and everything they do, we are really privileged to be partnering with them. And one of the latest innovations they brought is the